Well, firstly, it's good to see the white of your eyes, we're excited about the first camp. Obviously, 16 months ago to the World Cup, and our aim is the World Cup. So this is a small step, but a significant step. Bit of an experimental squad because of the fact that we're preparing for the Barbarians game and then going on the Australian tour. And as you know, the players are drip-fed into the squad over that period of time. So as a result, we've left some senior players out. There's some young guys we want to have a look at. I think the quality of rugby over Europe over the last couple of weekends has been extremely high. So we're looking forward to getting the players together and getting a bit of a base ready for Australia. Well, in terms of the squad, there's some players who have done well over the last period of time. We want to have a look at them and see what they can bring to the table. So that's number one. Number two, we've got 13 clubs in England, and we've got to bring them all back together and find a style that suits the strengths of the players. Well, the only thing I'm worried about is the national team, mate. That's my job, and we'd obviously like to see English teams doing a little bit better, but I'm not too concerned about things that I don't control, mate. It's been a tough period for him. Started with his club being relegated, and he had a tough time playing then. Number of injuries, but he's back playing. He's been consistently good for his club, and part of the reasons why Saracens have progressed so far in the European Championship and obviously doing well in the Premiership. So it's good to see him back and fit. I caught up with Manu last night in Manchester. He was looking very fit and enthusiastic, and he really wants to make an imprint on this Australian tour. So, our job with Sale is to get him physically right and ready to go. We just need to wait and see. We'll get them into camp and have a look at them. Obviously there's been a fair bit of publicity about the young boy from London Irish, but we'll just wait and see. We watched him during the 20s. He was impressive in the 20s. He's got exceptional pace. He probably reminds me a lot of Matt Giteau in terms of his desire to attack. Not the way he plays, but his desire to attack. And I was particularly impressed when I went out and watched him play against Wasps. The first ball was kicked to him, he knocked it on cold. So it wasn't a great start. There's all this hoo-ha about him being a fantastic player and he knocks the ball on cold. Next ball he gets a long pass, sees backspace, chips and scores. And that's the sort of mindset you want to see from young players that want to take on the game. So that's impressive with his pace, obviously. Australia's in a different position now than they were in 2016. 2016, they were an established team coming on the back of a World Cup final where they'd done exceedingly well. If you look at the Super Rugby teams at the moment, they're very young teams. A lot of good young players coming through, and I'm not going to try to pick Dave Rennie's team for him, but it looks like they'll have a fairly young team that'll play that traditional Dave Rennie type of rugby, a lot of ball movement, a lot of sequence plays. So the challenge in the game will be different, and obviously the game's changing considerably. If you just look at the game's getting more discreet. I watched the game on Saturday. The first half took 65 minutes because the referee went to the TMO for nearly every decision. So the game's becoming more powerful, shorter blocks of intense period of play. So it's much different from when we went there in 2016. We've got to make sure that we prepare well for that sort of rugby. Fast pitches. The first game's at Perth. It's an AFL ground. Very fast. They're going to have 60,000 screaming Australians there. They've already sold the game out. It's fantastic for rugby.